Welcome to Rally Hunt Club. In this webisode, we're going to discuss our opening weekend of gun season here in Georgia. So far, we had killed 3 does during muzzleload and bow season, and we were anxious to get the season started with the firearms. There was 4 of us starting this opening weekend, and we all saw a lot of deer. I mean, a lot of deer. Each hunt, we were seeing anywhere from 5 to 8 different deer, and most of them were does, fawns, and young bucks. So none of us really saw anything mature that we wanted to shoot. One member did take a doe, so that brings our total up to 4 does this season, and so far 0 bucks. But that's fixing to change because the pre-rut's beginning, and they're starting to seek a little bit, and they're starting to follow. We're starting to see more bucks chasing, well, young bucks chasing does. Now, I wanted to show you some of the video I took of some of the young bucks, and I also want to show you a couple of weird occurrences. So let's get started, and I'll talk on top of these videos and show you what's going on. Now, me personally, during this weekend, I had a bunch of good occurrences with deer. I was seeing anywhere from 5 to 6. One sit, I saw about 10 deer, and does and fawn. Well, this one, the first evening I was there, I sat in a stand that I hadn't been hunting, and I had 2 smaller bucks come by earlier, and then I had this great 8-point come in, and he's a nice. I estimate him to be a 3.5-year-old 8-point. Got really good mass, and he's club legal. I mean, I could have shot him if I wanted to, but I want to let him walk. Maybe he can make it to next year, maybe he doesn't. Maybe one of the other members have never killed a deer as good as this one, but anyway, he just wasn't what I was wanting to put on my wall. And as you can see, he's missing a big piece of his fur, so I take it they're beginning to fight and feel a little feisty and fight for territory. Now, he just jumped. And I'm not sure why he jumped, but he just really got the fidgets for a minute, and he jumped and tried to get out of the way. And I watched this deer for a good 20 minutes, and I just took this is the best video of it all. There you can see how nice he is. He's almost, he's a little bit outside the ears, but his tines are just not quite there. And if he does make it to be a 4.5-year-old, he should put on that time length. And that would really make a difference. But he's a beautiful buck, and that was a great encounter. And if I'd had my bow and arrow, I've never shot a buck that big with my bow and arrow. I probably still wouldn't have shot him, but really beautiful deer. See, look at that. Here's a little bit closer up on him. Zoom in a little bit tighter. But anyway, just beautiful deer, up and comer. Alright, now the next evening I was sitting on the stand, and I actually videoed this deer, and I didn't notice his back leg. And amazingly enough, when I started importing the video and trying to figure out what I was going to include in this webisode, I noticed his leg. If you notice, I'm fixing to zoom in a little bit. If you notice his left leg, he never puts pressure on it. So you can see it swinging a little bit. There we go. Zoom in a little bit more. It's getting dark. As you can see, it's starting to become grainy. You see the leg swinging. Now, he had this accident before he grew his antlers. Because he has a... because all the biologists say if he hurts the leg in the back right quarter, then his back right, then his front left antler will be messed up. And sure enough, he's only got about 3 inches of main beam on his right side. I mean, I'll rephrase that. His left side's the one that hurt. His right antler will be the ones that it's the side opposite that will be messed up. I thought I zoomed in a little bit better than that. But anyway, he's got about 3 inches, and he's getting around fine, but something happened to that back left leg. You see it swinging there? Okay, this is actually one of the mornings we had, and this is another nice 3.5-year-old buck. He's an 8.2, and about not quite big as the other one, but pretty close to being the same size as the one I showed you at the beginning of the show. And just a really nice buck. And we've got club members that have never shot one that big, and we got some members such as myself and Chuck that have shot them that big and they need to leave them alone. We got a couple kids. My son and Chuck's daughter haven't killed one, and that's the kind of deer in our management plan that we want to let those guys shoot or let them walk. You know, you can't let them get big if you don't let them walk. And on his way out, just a little bit more video of him. Once again, feeding. You see his antlers a little bit better. Not quite as wide as the other one. Not as good as Mass, but still a nice buck. I still think he's 3.5. Look at his neck. See how his neck's starting to swell up? So we're getting close. This is October the 22nd, 23rd when I took this video. So he's starting to get swelled up. Really nice buck. I'm glad I could show these videos with you. Now this is him going away, and I had a little bit better lighting. It was real overcast that morning, and had a little bit better lighting, so I was actually trying to grunt him to get him to pull around so I could see his antlers and get a real good video of him. And see there he looks right there. So then he just fed off. Like I said, I saw a bunch of deer, and believe it or not, it was pretty much a 1-to-1. If I saw a doe, I saw a buck, and it was pretty cool. At that same location, I sat there the next evening, and I saw this guy, and he's just a nice young buck. Now he's definitely a 2.5, whereas those other ones were 3.5. So now for the last video that I have, is these two fawns, these two doe fawns would come, and they would show up, and there they are at the feeder, and the feeder's fisting to go off, and it's fisting to scare the crap out of them. So I knew the feeder was fisting to go off, so I actually turned the camera on and got ready for it to come on. So I thought that was pretty funny to include. So that was opening weekend, and we're going back this weekend. They're getting a little bit more. They're getting a little bit more active. The young bucks are starting to chase. The big bucks are starting to scrape and fight a little bit. They're starting to search. And stay tuned. We'll put some more deer on the ground. Maybe we'll get some video of us shooting a big buck. So stay tuned and keep watching Rally Hunt Club. And thanks for watching.